reviewing the news, pop culture, video games, movies, and shoes. Quincy and Justin with a nerdy forecast. So stay a while and welcome to the Ugly Mugs Podcast.
Welcome to the Ugly Mugs Podcast. I'm your host, Justin.
I'm your other host, Quincy.
Oh boy, how you doing over there, Q?
I'm tired. It's been a long day.
Yeah, me too. I've been coughing my lungs out, but
You're
luckily
coughing. It's bad for you.
this not sponsored Alka-Seltzer plus severe cold and flu Power Fast Fizz has been definitely pushing back the coughing. I'm just drinking water. I'm just trying to stay hydrated. I'm not drinking anything special. How about you, man?
I have a Sprite because I didn't have time to make coffee, so I just grabbed a drink.
Yeah, we're gonna be belting this one through pretty quick, but there is a lot of big news. Something that actually got me out of my chair earlier in the week. Just gonna quickly brisk through these Humble Bundles. Humble Bundle is going to be experiencing its 15-year anniversary this year, and I was like, really? It's been around for 15 years? Yeah, I've been supporting Humble Bundle for almost 15 whole ass years. And starting off, they have the Humble 15 Time Capsule, which has a few games from their first couple indie bundles, as well as some new ones to throw in, such as Odd Sparks, an automation adventure where you have little sprites helping out your automated carry things. Kill Knight, a very gory top-down bullet hell brutal shooter, as I want to call it. Inkbound, another top-down, but with a turn-based roguelite experience. Bionic Bay, very reminiscent of Limbo, but with some psychological powers. Mark of the Deep, a pretty okay looking top down tactics game. Lugaru HD, Samarost 2, Osmos, and Ayim, AYIM, and Yet It Moves, are all coming back as classics from Humble Indie Bundle 1, 2, 3, and 4. All of these you can pick up for $15. I might pick this one up just because Odd Sparks definitely does click with the automation key that I really enjoy. And it helps out Child's Play. Child's Play charity works to channel the goodwill of the worldwide gaming community into video games and game systems for sick children in hospitals. Child's Play works directly with hospitals worldwide to identify what kinds of games and systems can be installed in children's wards and distributed, quote unquote, for keeps to the child patients. Yes. Beamdog and Owlcat help make Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader and Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous games, as well as reimagine Neverwinter Nights and Baldur's Gate, the remasters of those. Not so much the Icewind Dale one; they just published that one. But if you're wanting all of those for not too expensive, $23 for a if you don't have the money for what is it, Baldur's Gate 3, this is a good little, nudge into the right direction. Pathfinder's a little different, but I think you'll have a little bit more fun. As I said, $23 for all 12 of these, and the one for this is Donors Choose. Founded in 2000 by a Bronx history teacher, Donors Choose has raised over more than $510 million for America's classrooms. Teachers come to Donors Choose to request the materials and experiences they need for most of their classrooms, and donors give to the projects that inspire them. More than 2.5 million people and partners have funded 870,000 projects on site, reaching 21 million students and making Donors Choose the leading platform for supporting U.S. public schools. Whew. This one is a bit of a smaller one, but it's all physical items. Spring Fling 2026 Physical Tabletop RPG Core Book Bundle. For those who are wanting to build up their new tabletop role-playing game library, this is a pretty good start. The downside is the price tag. $159 gets you 6 pretty beefy books. Helps out get the Blade Runner, the role-playing game, Warhammer Age of Sigmar, Soulbound, Age of Vikings, the Avatar Legends, the role-playing game, Dune, the role-playing game, and the G.I. Joe role-playing game core rulebook. Do you think this would be something you would pick up, Q, if you had $160?
I mean, maybe if I had the money. The thing is, I don't know if I would actually play any of them. Not that there's anything against them, just that I already don't really play very many tabletop games. But it seems like a pretty good deal. I mean, they're all hardcover, right? Looks like.
That is correct. They are all hardcover. They're going to be bundled up into a already really tight knit mailer and shipped out to you immediately. I would like to try the GI Joe one and maybe the Blade Runner one. Blade Runner's been kind of hit or miss with its external pop culture references as of the remake movie that made no sense. That both Q and I kind of just are like, why did they make you? But the for $160 for 6 pretty big beefy tomes, not too terrible. Helps out the ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union Foundation. For nearly 100 years, the ACLU has been our nation's guardian of liberty, working in courts, legislatures, and communities to defend and preserve the individual rights and liberties that the Constitution and the laws of the United States guarantee everyone in this country, whether it's achieving full equality for LGBT people, establishing new privacy protections for our digital age of widespread government surveillance, ending mass incarceration, or preserving the right to vote or the right to have an abortion. The ACLU takes up the toughest civil liberties cases and issues to defend all people from government abuse and overreach. Hooey. Last one, I promise. This one, just because it was a part of their 15 year anniversary, overwhelmingly positive game bundle featuring Monster Con, the Monster Prom 4, which is super fun, voice acted by a whole slew of really nice people. A very strange Balatro Plinko style game called Nubby's Number Factory. For those who are very keen-eyed, I have their little icon on my desktop here. For those who ever noticed that it's just sitting there staring at you. Monster Train, a pretty okay roguelite deck builder that has some pretty MOBA-like affiliate. Heavenly Bodies, a game where you play as a spaceman in space with a little bit of, I would say, physics problems. Henry Stickmin, for those who enjoy puzzle making, but it's not really puzzles, it's more just figuring out the right path to go down. Bug Fables, an everlasting sampling, a game where you solve puzzles, but with some actual good story involved. Later, Alligator, a game where you try and attend a couple parties and try and bring down a cult of a sort that left you high and dry. And a bit of an outlier game, Lisa, the Painful Definitive Edition. Take the game of Earthbound and add in a lot more depression. That's what Lisa the Painful is.
That sounds lovely. That's what I want to do on a Friday night.
I mean, believe it or not, it has to be probably in my top 50 of video games, of indie video games I have ever played. It is a damn fine story, even though it's got weird, grotesque body horror, and music is top notch. But 95% on Steam, I agree with that wholeheartedly. All of this for $15, that's a damn fine deal right there. And it helps out. It Gets Better. It Gets Better mission is to communicate to lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender youth around the world that it gets better, and to create and inspire the changes needed to make it better for them. It Gets Better was created to show young LGBT people the levels of happiness, potential, and positivity their lives will reach. It Gets Better wants to remind youth in the LGBT community that they are not alone and it will get better. This one I'm probably just going to help out just because it's a good charity, and I don't own the real version of Nubby's Number Factory, so I might just pick it up just for that alone.
You thief.
Well, no, demo.
Gotcha.
But Game Pass keeps pulling up some very interesting choices, and I gotta tell you, the way that they just keep throwing out these games, I'm getting more and more happy because Xbox Game Pass keeps just getting more and more bang for its buck. And they did mumble through lines that it could be going up come April, so be prepared for that.
It just went up.
It just went up, yes. Another two.
If it goes up in April again, I'm probably gonna have to cancel.
Okay. But I mean, for those who are going to stick around, Death Howl, a Souls-like deck builder that has beautiful art. I haven't heard the music of it, but someone tells me it got some good music behind it. EA Sports College Football 2026. The Witcher Wild Hunt 3, the complete edition with the 2 really banger DLCs. Trading card game shop simulator. Wife really likes that one. Dice a Million for those who enjoy Balatro but want to play with dice instead. Towerborn, it is now entering into its 1.0 stage and out of its early access, so be prepared for that one. Final Fantasy 3 for those who want to have a old school throwback game to before when JRPGs were a little more simple. And Kingdom Come Deliverance, 2 will be dropping on cloud services as well at the end of this month, I believe. Oh boy, I have the hiccups. A banger of a set, and I kind of want to play Dice a Million, but sadly that's a PC only one, so I'm probably gonna have to yell at Socks to allow me to play that one. Would you say the best game out of this though, Witcher 3? Oh,
I don't know what's going on. The headset keeps going in and out. Say that again.
Witcher 3, best game out of this list?
It's the only one I played out of this list.
Oh, oh. I mean, I'm probably gonna hop into Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Yeah, I mean, so sure.
Yeah, sure. I recommend Witcher 3 heavily. You know, as soon as that comes onto Game Pass, I'll be yelling at a couple people to grab it. But I haven't talked about Rainbow Six in a very long time because, well, Ubisoft and it got hacked and all of that, and I just kind of was like, I'm gonna let Ubisoft work with that. They decided to do one of the weirdest fucking things they could have ever done, and that was talk to Konami to bring in Solid Snake.
Into what? Oh, into Siege.
Into Siege, yes.
That doesn't really make sense, but okay.
Yeah, yeah. And they had in the trailer, they had Sam Fisher give Solid Snake a dap, and I'm like, ooh, 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 ooh.
Anything but making another game with Kojima, right?
I guess. I mean, I'm happy that everything is very on brand. His weapons are very on brand. His ability is he gets the radar system, and if he detects anyone, it makes a little boing noise. And I'm like, okay, cool. He gets all of his regular materials that help him get in, but he's a defender. No, he's an attacker. Okay. Um. You know, I'm chaotic
The gun
neutral
looks
to him.
cool.
Yeah, oh yeah, his USP, SOCOM, or as they're wanting to call it in this one, the tactic.
Yeah. It's a weird addition. I don't know. It's a choice.
It is a choice. I have a couple friends who are like, I've been out of Rainbow Six for a while, but this shit's cool, and I'm like, we need to quit giving them money, and they're like, oh no, we're getting them for free. We're earning our renown to get them. I'm like, okay, I guess. But I'm happy that at least Konami is doing a lot in today's time, and I'll explain that in a minute.
Are they?
Oh, yes, they are, and I'll explain at the end of our gaming news. Heading over to Monster Hunter real quick. They're finally getting around to making the pendant and the weapon for this event that is finally coming to. With this event, they finally dropped the progression upgrade and the I don't want to call it the compatibility, because what they did was there was an issue where the game was searching for DLC every 10 to 15 seconds, and in that 10 to 15 seconds it would keep cycling and keep crunching, and it would cause the games. Yeah. So they fixed that. Well, someone fixed that and gave the fix to Capcom, and the game runs fucking amazing now. So for those who have been kind of a little in the leeway of hopping back into Monster Hunter, now is the greatest time, because these two weapons are now, or the weapon and charm, this beautiful little SOS meeting pendant, and this beautiful. I'm not a great sword user by any way, shape, or form, but looking at this fucking weapon and using it, I was like, ooh, I kind of want to get it. What it is it is broken up into a bunch of shards held together just by gravity. And when you're charging up, it makes its full self back to its full form. And then when you slam it down, it just looks like you're breaking through a bunch of glass. And I'm like, Capcom didn't need to go that hard for this weapon, but I'm glad they did. But aside from that, these two are now available in the event quests, aside from the other 27 that were previously available. So if you could not do the earlier events for like the Sakura Tide Blossom, for the scarf or the kimono or the cool Yoji mask, Oni mask, the other ones, you can now get them all now. They are all available to go and get. So for those who are just starting up the game, hey, you got all of the event stuff popping out, I believe, right now, today on the 18th. That being said, they also said, please increase, they had small complaints. Please reduce the processing load, the PC and GPU processing
You
load.
okay?
Now, yeah, I had a bit of a hiccup. Had a bit of a cache issue. Good news, they fixed a little bit of the cache issue when they brought in the fix that was the DLC checker. They also said, hey, I'm having a hard time getting high rarity talismans. Okay, well, we're going to make it a little bit easier to get those good ones. Okay, well, can I get some Gogma materials? Sure, we've now made it easier for you to meld relics so that way you can get even more materials. Let's say you get ones that you don't need, you can just now melt them and get
This is
better
all
ones.
Greek to me.
In short, a lot of really good quality of life stuff. And then they've of course added a whole slew of extra fixes and whatnot. But go if you're not in the know with Monster Hunter, go and check out their website. Their website has all of the breakdowns, and if you happen to be like, hey, this weapon's not acting like it did before, they did a few changes, so be sure to keep on track of what weapon you're following. Bows are now fucking strong, but go and check them out. Boop. Now it's not time to speak Greek, but a little bit of what's depressing place? Atlantis that got sunk at the bottom of the sea. Replaced, a game I've been very excited for that was going to be released on March 8th, got nudged back very quickly to April 14th, 2026. It was ready.
Okay, so it got moved from March to April?
Yeah, and it was ready.
Okay,
It
it's
was
not too bad.
It's not terrible, but it was also going to be on Game Pass, so that was like, yay, yay, yay. But fine. I can wait one more month, I guess. It's just a bit of a kick in the shin, but something else that got a bit of a nudge back that I'm kind of even more frustrated about. Destiny 2. So at the end of Guardian Games, we were supposed to get into the next season of Destiny, and now I'm just like, So our next major update, Destiny 2 Shadow and Order, is undergoing large revisions and will be delayed. And I was like, okay,
What, another Bungie employee steal all the assets and they had to go through and change it?
Well, no, this one's.
I got a fucking ad for Marathon today.
Oh man, I hate to say it, but Marathon actually looks really fun. But I'll get to that. I'll get to that once we get to the state of play. June 9th, 2026, they said they're going to add better weapon tier upgrading. They're going to add additions like tiered gear and I assume set bonuses to all raid and dungeon activities. So that way you can go back and play all the old dungeons and have fun. Pantheon 2.0, which is apparently going to be something a little bit more accessible toward build crafting. Tier 5 stats for exotic armors, which is something I'm looking forward to. I'm tired of rolling 62s. And more. And they're saying that it's going to be a lot of quality of life updates and so on. I'm like, well, these were promised back in January, so I'll keep an eye out on their TWID. Guardian Games will be at the end of March. I think end of March. So I'll probably be playing a little bit of that. But since like all of their current events have kind of been lackluster. Like they didn't do Bonfire Bash for the Solstice. They didn't do Haunted Lost Sectors for the Festival of the Lost. I'm like, what are you guys doing with your events? So hopefully the Guardian games will have something. Bungie's both disappointing but impressing me, and I'll explain why later. Badoop. So I was already on the emailing list for this Cyberpunk 2077 5th anniversary collector's set. I clicked
Nerd.
the email. That's right. I clicked the link at around 1 o'clock today, which was 3 hours after it had dropped. It was already out of stock.
Tracks.
And I'm like, man, y'all. I like Cyberpunk.
I'd like to know where these people get the money from, because
Well, I mean, good news. It's not terrible. It's $145 and $145. And it's not terrible for what you kind of get with it. You get the relic
that's more than half of my car payment.
True. I believe you could pay a little bit more for the Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition. That of course comes with the Phantom Liberty DLC. It comes with a Arasaka branded little thumb. I could have expected a bigger thumb drive, from these guys, but the thumb drive has FLAC graded, which is a little bit better than MP3 of the game soundtrack. A rusted steel book that has like scars all over it. The relic itself, which can plug in through USB-C, which glows and pulses. 3 tarot cards: Strength, the Emperor, and I think it doesn't really mention the other tarot card, but yeah, 3 tarot cards, and then 2 enamel pens, one of the relic and one of Arasaka Corporation. Not terrible for 145, but yeah, I concur. I don't know where people are getting all this money from. I hope that it's 1 to 3 units per person, and someone's not just fucking, I'll take 20.
It doesn't matter. With the way bots are now, it's probably someone bought 20 of them, 30 of them. They're going to be on eBay the second they ship.
Yeah. But even still, I tried getting the news before, it sold out. There's a couple other things that are Cyberpunk that are on sale. Go to cdprojektred.com/shop. And they'll have a whole slew of pretty good stuff on sales, including, I think, his jacket is on sale. Oh no, the Cyberpunk Edge Runner's tee is on sale. I thought there was a jacket that was also on sale. Big buff David 6-inch figure. Yeah, there's a whole lot of things on sale. Ooh. Badoo. Okay, so remember when I said last Thursday I was going to be, streaming this to a bunch of friends, and we all sat down and watched the State of Play. And what a state of play it was.
Before we get into it, at any point did they talk about Last of Us?
No.
I am honestly surprised that they have stuck to their word this long on that.
But what they did do is they said that there was going to be a whole bunch of remakes and remasters, and some were a little more anticipated than others. Show starts off Kena, Scars of Cosmora. I never really dabbled in Kena, but some of the animations, like of the actual cinematics, gave me very light AI vibes, and I was like, okay. But the gameplay looks solid, looks fun. I'm here for the Souls-like, but with a little bit of puzzle game inclusive, maybe a little bit of Legend of Zelda thrown in there. Okay, cool. 2026, later on this year, we should be seeing more from that. I was like, okay. Next game that popped up was the Yotei style game, the Ghost of Yotei Legends. And I was like, okay. I'm glad that they're not dumping it after the second game, because Ghost of Tsushima was big for them. and Ghost of Yotei was fine. I still very curious to get both of them if and when it drops on PC. Well, Yotei, that is. Having a 4-player co-op Yotei game, sure, fine. I was like, this is nothing that's going to be for me because this is going to be on PlayStation exclusive. Something that dropped that I kind of scratched out my head, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach is coming to PC. And I was like, okay, the better of the two Death Stranding games hitting PC. Okay, sure, fine.
Well, I mean, the other one's already on PC, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Okay.
much like this one, it took a second for it to drop onto PC. Ultra widescreen support. Kojima says that he has had a lot of help making this work fantastically on PC, as far as making sure that it'll run on even low-end PCs, considering if you can see all this fucking fireworks going off, all the pixels and whatnots, effects going off. But I fine. I'll think about getting into I have the first one. I just have to download it. Jumped immediately.
Never finished.
Yeah. It's the delivery boy portion of it before we actually get to the fun portion of Death Stranding. Forta Loop was the one that came directly afterwards, and I said, okay, this feels fine. This looks fun. A few hitches, I believe, during their the initial streaming of this, it froze a couple times, and I'm like, ooh, is that the game or is that the game or is that the trailer? And I was like, and then watching this back later on, oh no, it is the actual trailer. Ooh, that's not good.
That fills me with confidence for this game.
Well, I'm hoping that it was like a pre-render and they just fucked up on getting it over. But the game looks fun. It looks fine. It will be released for everything else. The AI is a little dopey from what I could tell. But it's an extraction shooter that doesn't have other individuals trying to stop you, which is something I could kind of give a thumbs up for. I'm tired of running into people who are like, I'm friendly. I'm like, I don't give a shit. You're dead.
So you're the problem. Gotcha.
I'm tired, man. Every time I play a freaking extraction shooter, it's always someone else. They did another little tiny tidbit for Pragmata. I was like, okay, that is their child. They did support Capcom in doing this, and it's looking fantastic. But I don't think I'm gonna be getting Pragmata. It just looks good, but miss me with the oddness.
It's another one I have no idea about.
Yeah, we keep seeing it all across the time. And then they were like, oh, hey, yeah, speaking of Capcom, let's talk about Resident Evil Requiem. That is going to be dropping on the 26th of this month. And they gave a little bit of a spoiler, which I'm not going to give to you if you're wanting to avoid it. But
Okay.
there is a bit of a spoiler in this trailer. And I said, you sons of bitches, you could have held on to that one. You didn't need to show me that. But the trailer did show a lot more gameplay and connectivity between the Ashcroft child and Leon moves not like he's 50. Not like he's 50.
I mean, what are we basing a 50-year-old's movement off of? The average American? I mean, that's probably why.
That is true.
This is also a world where bio things are a thing,
That's true. I'm very happy with the way that it's being built. But yeah, don't go watching the last trailer if you want to be spoiler free because yeah, they give up a little bit of excess story that they did not need to. The one that got me kind of leaning back in my chair, Legacy of Kain Defiance gets a remastered set from Crystal Dynamics, and I went, I haven't thought about Kain in that 97, 98. And like I played the first one. I never got into the second one, but I popped to that day, popped to Thursday when they showed this off, and it even comes with the unreleased third demo-ish that it gives a little bit of gameplay. If you like hack and slashers from the PlayStation era, this is a good go-to. I
I think I
recommend it
played this one.
highly. Yeah, it's a good game, but I don't know if I want to hear a price tag before I go do anything. It's available for pre-order. I did not take a look at it, but I may take a look at it if it comes over to other consoles or PC. They talked about Brigadine Abyss, a tactics JRPG, and I was like, okay, this one's kind of just shoved in there. It looks fine. It looks like a what is it called? Uh, Emblem, something emblem, Fire Emblem, and I was like,
Oh,
cool,
okay.
and I just kind of ignored it. Another one that got me to slink back when I heard Dead or Alive was coming back. I'm like, Dead or Alive, where are you guys coming from? You guys have not popped up in like 12 years. Like y'all left in the Xbox 360 age. And so we're getting Dead or Alive 6 last round and Dead or Alive 30th anniversary project, which is Dead or Alive 7. And I was like, okay, sure, fine. I'll take the win, I guess. Even though I've been out of Dead or Alive for a while, but happy to see it. They showed more
Was it
gameplay.
really 360 was last time we had one? I'm pulling up the list of games right now.
I want to say that we had a Dead or Alive 6 Redux for current hardware, maybe PS4 and Xbox One, but I do not recall.
So 5 was 2015, 5 which was last round. So technically 5 was 2012, and then they did 5 plus, 5 Ultimate, 5 last round, and then in 2017 they did Dead or Alive Infinite, and then in 2019 they did Dead or Alive 6. This is going to be Dead or Alive 6 last round.
Okay. So 2019, which is the one in PS4.
It came out on PlayStation 4, Windows, Xbox One, Arcade, and now last round is set for PlayStation 5 and Series X/S.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Then not as far back as I thought. As I said, I've just been so far out of it.
I never really played Dead or Alive, but I had felt like we had talked about it more recent than, like not necessarily more recent than when it came out, but like I felt like we had talked about it at some point. So I was like, I feel like one came out at some point.
Yeah. I might hop back into it if they make it inexpensive. It's the $60 price tags for these fighting games that got me wiling out. With Alex coming right along the way, they're wanting fucking $14 just for Alex or 35 for 4 characters. I'm like, that's kind of ridiculous. But heading back over to Control Resonant, I was surprisingly shocked by this game and how it feels so very fluid and looks like Infamous a little bit, or a little bit of if you remember, Prototype. I was like, ooh, this game looks and flows. It got me a little dizzy because you can stick to ceilings and kind of climb on walls and get onto creatures' backs, and they just float all over the place. This this is I need to finish Control's DLC before I hop into this.
I haven't even played any of Controlled yet.
Oh, I recommend it. Well, the base game. I don't know about I heard the DLC made it a lot better, but the base game's fine. The DLC I heard was a little bit better. Then Crimson Moon decided to show its face, a 2-player co-op Souls-like game, and I was like, okay, this looks pretty cool. I like its theming. It had death metal as its soundtrack, and I was like, okay, this is fine. I have no problem with this. I'm excited to see more from it, but there wasn't really much to mumble about. It was just a hey, wish list now. Game Freak, the guys behind Pokemon, decided to drop out this Beasts of Reincarnation trailer. Personally, I would say just have them stick to Pokemon, and if they had a Monster Hunter style Pokemon game, I think it would do a lot better.
You can't have a Pokemon game where you're killing the Pokemon. A Monster Hunter style Pokemon game is not going to work.
Honestly, I think it would.
I don't think it would. I think the fans would be very upset about it, and it would gain zero to no interest.
I mean,
As for them going and making something outside of Pokemon, I think they have every right. The fact that they've done just one game for the last 30 years is kind of wild.
well,
So
they've done
I don't know that.
they've done other games, just
Okay,
not games you probably heard of. I also haven't
probably
heard of
not.
either.
I don't know that going into Monster Hunter's territory was the right way to go. I feel like that's something that uh what is that? Is that
Capcom.
Capcom? I feel like that's something Capcom has locked down pretty well. Probably should have just come up with something a slight bit more original.
Yeah, but so we we briefly talked about it, I think, on our own terms, like Pokemon's history. And the very first
Hmm.
game, you run into a guy named Lieutenant Surge, which implies that there was a war that happened in Pokemon. And there was a bit of me that was like, I wouldn't mind having played during that time, like having a
It's
game
just gonna be
during
a
the time
bunch
of
of
war.
battles.
Right, but also would it also have like human versus Pokemon style combat?
I don't know, because even with Arceus, we go way back in time with that. We still don't see anything like that. So,
True. Eh, it was a bit of an ask, a want,
in
but
fact, that even kind of got us away from battles.
yeah. Hmm. But it's also very interesting that there's a slight bit of technology kind of bubbled up in this, a little bit of Dark Souls movement. You got some good dash rolls. I I'm interested to see more, but I think I'm gonna let this one pass. I've got a lot of Dark Souls like games on my docket already. I
That's
am
the thing is
happy.
every game has to be a Dark Souls like game now because Dark Souls sells well, so we have to all just copy the same thing rather than making anything new.
True. August 4th, 2026 for that one. Uh, I'm happy to see more from Game Freak, but yeah, would have preferred to see the uh, the crazy Pokemon combat one. Now,
They also haven't really been doing great with the last couple Pokemon games.
well, that's more Nintendo and their budgets. Now, the next thing that came out, I was like, this is what Ubisoft is giving us. They're giving us the Rayman 30th Anniversary Edition. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't mind Rayman. I remember playing it on an old school 3DO over at my babysitter stuff, and I'm like, cool, this is great. I'm happy to see Rayman getting, their. This is what wasn't canceled from the Ubisoft bring down 6 games canceled, 7 games delayed. This one's just fine.
Well, it's already been dropped. It was probably finished when they went to
True,
do all the canceling.
true. But
Because
I'm
you
like,
can already buy this. This is already out.
yeah, it's just massively annoying that this is what they're wanting to work on. But that is true. It was out on the 13th of this month. Then they did a
Yeah,
little
because
bit
when
of
did all the cancellations happen? The cancellations only happened like a month or two ago, right?
a
So this
little
game had to have finished.
couple weeks back, yeah. But
Yeah. So this already had to be finished. But also you're saying, this is what they're working on, but you were also just praising them for putting Snake in Siege.
oh no no no
So
no no! Don't get me wrong. I was praising them just because I was like they're doing more outreach stuff. But reminder, these are the guys who got hacked and nobody could log into fucking Siege for a week and a half. Like praise at a small glance that they managed to get a handshake from Konami, but more about Konami in a
oh,
brief moment. In a brief moment.
I feel like if you tell Konami we will give you money for Metal Gear, but you don't actually have to make anything new, Konami's gonna take it.
Once again, I'll get to that in a moment because
Okay.
Konami did big here. So Mina the Hollower had another little trailer for those who played the old school Game Boy versions of like Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Seasons and Ages, or even Link to the Past. This one definitely is a good throwback, and it plays like it. It looks fantastic. I played this in the last Steam Next Fest. I'm kind of excited for it. It definitely does have a good throwback motif and if it's not too expensive, I might throw a couple bucks its way. Neva Prologue. This is going to be available for everything: Switch 1, Switch 2, um, Xbox Series XS, Xbox One, PS4, PS5, PC, and mobile for $2.99. Uh, you can purchase this right now on the Google Play Store and the iPhone. What is it? App Store? It's just called App Store.
Yeah, it's the App Store.
Okay. Available tomorrow. Apparently, it's supposed to be just a very gripping little platforming adventure. Very easy to play. Neva, I heard Neva is a very heart gripping tale, so enjoy that. Yako Shinobi Ops, very neutral. I was like, ooh, we're getting a good game from I forget the developers that popped through. I believe it is Suisha and Acquire, and I was like, ooh, we're getting a fucking stealthy game. Please don't be top down. Please don't be top down. And it's top down. But I was like, ooh, I was actually kind of impressed with how they made this game look. I would have preferred it to be like a third person style one, but I get it. This is the kind of style for that kind of game. Fine. I would prefer more combat inclusive rather than hiding in the shadows inclusive, but this is fine. This is good. I'm excited to see more from it. I would like to actually see some gameplay, but cool. Time to get into the weird. So, watching this trailer, starting off, you get this weird Naga snake person that, throws out all of these plants and all of that, and I'm like, I don't know
The
what.
stream is really far behind. I'm still looking at that stealth game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll slow it down a little bit then. But,
No, you're fine. Just keep talking.
it struck me as very odd. And I was watching it and kind of keeping an eye on it. And I was like, okay, the animations are beautiful. The music that I can hear in the background is crafting. They know how to tie together music to gameplay. And I was like, okay. Then it started getting into hack and slash territories, and I was like, okay, cool. We're getting some maybe a God of War esque clone, and then I see this feathered person pop by, and I'm like, you play as a giant, chicken, play as a giant rooster, and I said, okay, but then it goes
I
into
mean, he's kind of insanely built, so
he is. Otherwise, this game does give off very Dynasty Warriors and a little bit of Dark Souls esque. It looks pretty, looks really good. You've got some yokai doing yokai cool things. I kind of am here for it. Project Windless, and
is that a play on the fact that he can't fly?
I'm unsure, but I'm thinking that's a title work in progress. Um, the two blades that he has make up a rooster beak. So I'm curious on what all is going to be transpiring in this style of game later on. But having all of these units on screen is super fucking cool. I'm curious to see more from it. They showed more from the Star Wars Galactic Racer. They tried to prove that there was a little bit of story involved, and I was like, okay, good for you guys. I'm happy you guys are wanting to show off some story, but it's a pod racing game. Not a lot of story is really in there. This is done by the guys who worked on a little bit of the Need for Speed, Most Wanted, the latest one, and a little bit of the Burnout from Criterion, the guys who are behind it. I'm like, okay, at least they're getting people who know how to do vehicle deconstruction well. Um, Very chaotic neutral for it. I would prefer more from the fate of the Old Republic game. After that, they showed more from.
Did we scrap the remake on one of those? I mean, that's the thing, is that the new thing seems to be, let's make an entire game out of something that used to be the side thing in other games, pod racing, squadrons.
True. Luckily, this seems like it's still doing its own thing, considering you can destroy the other vehicles. So, um, 007 First Light had another little trailer, and I gotta tell you, that it is making me excited for that game. It is. I I haven't been excited for a kind of like a Nathan Drake style agent game in a short minute, but this one's definitely a good one to hop into. May
I
27th.
feel like when Nathan Drake ended, they kind of, and nothing else has really been going in that genre, right? And what else have we had? I mean, they did one more game after ending it with Nathan Drake. They did one more Uncharted game.
And I still have to get into the new Tomb Raiders. I started up on the
Yeah,
first
but
of the
those were
Tomb Raiders.
those were years ago at this point.
Yeah, I'm just
Like,
saying
that's
they're
what I'm saying.
either
It's like, I
that.
feel like nothing else has really been playing around in that sandbox. So, First Light stepping into it is hopefully it's good. I'm looking at it. It's looking fun. I'm hoping for good things from it.
Okay. Now, then they decided to have some big guy talk about how they were working with esports in Tokyo Bay Studio at Konami, and I was like, okay, what is it going to be? Some fucking horse racing bullshit? Then they decide to give us out of PlayStation 3 hell. They decide to drop Metal Gear Solid 4 and Peace Walker, but Peace Walker's whatever. They decide to release it from its jail and say, "Here, have Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2. Sorry about the wait," type of thing. And I'm like, ooh, I would be very furious with you if I wasn't excited for that. I
Okay,
would be.
so this whole time I keep shitting on them for not doing anything new with Metal Gear, and you keep telling me to wait, and then we get here, and they didn't do anything new with Metal Gear.
They didn't do anything new with Metal Gear, but I did say it was Konami that I'm more excited about, not necessarily the Metal Gear portion. And sure, this is.
But I was shitting on Konami.
I, I know, I know.
They still didn't do anything
They,
because they're so weird about this franchise.
that they are.
The fact that we ever got another Silent Hill game is amazing.
That is true. That is coming up in a moment. Um. So then they decide to drop their Darwin's Paradox, a game where you play as an octopus that has stealth elements, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of cute, and they have him do all the Solid Snake bits and bobs, and they show the regular trailer that was from December. It's fine. It's cool. Then, what got me out of my chair, what got me sweating, uh, I on my little bingo card that I had, if anything Castlevania, I don't think I even had that on my sheet. I would have fucking lost my mind. This game looks so good. It is called Castlevania Belmont's Curse, and I gotta tell you, the music, the gameplay. Uh, this is supposedly Richter's illegitimate daughter, which I am curious to hear more about. I am here for this whole story, and I'm like, Konami, you're making games again. Where did this come from?
I do like the art.
Oh, I
I've got the
love
stream
the art.
muted so it doesn't pick up on the mic, so I'm not hearing the music. But I do like the art.
Yeah, when you can listen to the music, it's fantastic. It goes on for a little bit, and it even talks about the director behind it. And then I was like, okay, well, okay, cool. We're going into, and then I heard Simon listen to me, and that was the teaser that we got for Townfall, which is the next of the Silent Hill. So I immediately clicked into, oh, hey, we're getting a teaser for Silent Hill. Okay, fold arms over chest, and I'm like, Konami, you're making games again. Well, this is mostly Annapurna, but I'm still very much a they're publishing. They're working on this. Annapurna had a bit of a rough and tumble drag back in November by getting rid of 45 of their people. But they seem to be
Annapurna is a studio. Like I don't know what it is.
Yeah, Annapurna is a studio.
Yeah.
And they got rid of 45 of their people back in I believe October, November, and we are on the outskirts of Silent Hill in Saint Amelia, and I'm like, okay, so we're not hitting Silent Hill directly again. And we get a little bit of backstory out on our new guy Simon, and he has a IV attached to him with a medical bracelet on his other arm, and I'm like, this is already something psychological, and I can feel it. I like it. Picasso. I'm honestly hoping to get a little bit more story. Probably come June when we'll get a lot more story from a lot of these things. I want to like it. I want to fall back into the Silent Hill games. I still have
So
to get
is this? There was another one, wasn't there? This 2 Silent Hill games in the last year.
Forte, and then there was a full game that was very short called Silent Hill something photo. But Townfall.
The one that felt very. Why can't I think of the word? The game where you take the photos of the ghosts.
Oh, Fatal Frame.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, it was a little Fatal Frame-ish. It was Fatal Frame mixed in with storytelling and tried to keep it balanced, but it was a little rough. It was very short, maybe 3.5 hours long. And then Forte, of course, being the last Silent Hill, and then this was the last of the hints during the Silent Hill I guess documentary that they had, and then they said, yeah, this is probably going to be the last one for a little bit. And I was like, okay, cool. I mean, I'm glad that it's going to be done this year. I was expecting, early 2027, but I'll take it. I mean, I'll keep an ear out for it. I'm definitely probably not going to get it day one, but definitely going to keep an ear out for it. Another JRPG with very light and bubbly animations. It was fine. Rev Noir is the name of the game. It definitely is going to be taking Unreal Engine to its utter peak because there were just so much particles on screen at all fucking times. Sure, Rev Noir looks fine. It looks like it's a curse of Midas gold, where it's raining from the sky and it's turning people to gold. I'm like, okay, cool little story.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been out of JRPGs for a minute, but Konami decided to fucking throw us a whole slew of games. Okay, good job, Konami. You get a golf clap. Where were you in 2020?
I mean, I guess making all these games.
Right. Now, from the very get-go of the next trailer, I immediately clocked that building was the fucking Continental. I was like, what is it, the fucking Continental? And then I saw the trailer, and I'm like, oh, wait. Oh, wait, I'm right. Oh, no. I didn't think I was going to be on the nose with it, but I'm glad. So I only have very little information about this John Wick game, but apparently it is going to be set a month before the first John Wick movie takes place, when he quote unquote quits. So this will be his
That
last.
doesn't make sense.
Well, it leads up until his last job that gets him to finally quit. That's the rumor in the rumor mill.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
So not a month before the first movie.
no,
I see what you're saying.
yeah,
Okay.
before he
We
decides
got a
to
bot.
call. Oh, I got it. The other tidbit that I heard that's probably gonna make you very happy is it'll have movement like sleeping dogs. And I was like, ooh, Quincy might be happy about that.
Yeah, I definitely be interested in seeing how that plays out. But it's also, Sleeping Dogs wasn't a gun heavy game, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays in.
Yep. Otherwise, Keanu is there doing the VO. Gotta be happy for that. And I
Yeah.
assume the mocap. So, okay.
Well, so far this has just been trailer though.
That is true. I am very curious to see gameplay. I would love to see a little bit more. They do say, I believe, 2020. They show a little bit of cinematic where you're doing takedowns and arm breaks and whatnot. And I'm like, okay, it looks fine. And let me post right there. Saber, down at the very bottom of the screen, you'll see that Saber Interactive is working on it. They are currently working on 4 projects that I have all of my eyes onto right now. So, including John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. Saber, I'm glad you guys are back in a big way. This is a big project. I can't wait to see more actual in-game, maybe a little bit of the UI, so on and so forth. Bungie paid off a lot to cover a little bit of the marathon in game. Oh, let me pause it right there, actually. Let me just state that Bungie decided to go back in time. I don't know if you can see that on stream. Can it be a little bit more clear? If not, I'll go to the second one that shows off. But they got back their rights to use old Halo assets. So you can get Halo skins.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, you want to get some old fans back into, enjoying a game like this. Oh, there it was. There was a Halo skin.
I feel like this is just
There he is.
um I I feel like this is just a way to be like, hey, forget how we stole people's artwork. Look at our classic artwork.
That does definitely feel that way, but they paid the artist after all of the deliberation, and this is I hate to say it, but this is the statistics. This is the number one most pre-ordered game this month, and I'm like, okay, if
People need
the
to stop pre-ordering games.
that is, yeah, I concur. I'm I'm a little jaded, but they also announced during this, they said, hey, here's another free weekend. Um, Test out our servers, go online, have fun. Um, here here's a weekend jam. I believe it is going from um where is that date? I know it's around here somewhere. Eh. I want to say it would be the 28th of this month to the 3rd of March, I believe. But in short, Marathon paid for all. I would say the biggest portion of the showcase. Then there was a coming soon to PlayStation Plus. You're getting Spider-Man 2, um, the PSP classic slash arcade classic of Tekken Dark Resurrection, which is an equivalent to Tekken 5, and light gun experience of where is the light gun? There it is. Of Time Crisis.
I was gonna say Time Cop.
Yeah, Time Cop.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I need to watch that movie again. But Time
No,
Crisis. Eh, eh, there's better. You're right. There is better Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. But 3 games that are going to come to their classics catalog, and then they said, "Oh yeah, here is another game that's going to be coming as soon as it drops. Big Walk, where you and up to 3 friends can just kind of fuck around an island and solve puzzles and I fell down a whole
Why are
sad
they
face.
shaped like that?
I don't know, but this is kind of adorable. Sock says she's kind of excited for it, and I'm like, if it's very inexpensive, this looks like fun. This looks like a really good time. Did I say you and 3 friends? You and 4 friends, up to 5 people total.
Hmm.
Then they did another showcase for
I just need 5 friends.
True that. Then they showed off Saros, and I was like, I don't care for Saros. It's a bullet hell third-person shooter that it gives me a want to play, but I'm just kind of over bullet hell, I guess. I don't want to be dodging all moments of my life, you know. I don't mind dodging, but I don't want to be dodging all of the time. And they're like, oh no, you will die a lot in this game. And I'm like, I don't want to die in this game a lot. So I'm going to keep an eye on it. It does look good. It looks pretty. It has a hard mode called the Eclipse. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know if I'm going to be doing all that. It has permanent progression systems. It has modifiers and reagents to allow you to even out the game by adding difficulty modifiers along with buffs for yourself. And I'm like, that's fine. Whatever, man. It gets a solid pass, but I don't think it's going to be a game for me. Looks
I feel like we
pretty.
watched another game that was very similar to this not that long ago.
Saros did announce itself back in October of last year, and it was very early. And then they did another trailer for the fucking Video Game Awards, I think.
Okay.
And then Marvel Tokon got another little trailer with a couple more characters popping up. Wolverine getting, they're wanting to push X-Men this time around. So we got Wolverine, we got Danger, which was a bit of an odd one for me. And Magic. Those are the 3 new
What is
characters.
this? Is this like a play on Marvel versus Capcom, just without the Capcom characters?
Yes.
Okay.
This is Arxis, the guys who did Guilty Gear, BlazBlue, DB Fighter Z, and they really do like their character models. They take good care of all of these characters. I really like the way they did Magic. As I said, Danger was a bit of an odd pull. I was like, I never would have thought Danger would have popped out. Like, there's so many other X-Men I would have preferred.
But that's the thing, is everyone else is using all those other X-Men and everything. So I guess bringing something to make it make it up a little different.
True, and I said I'm not against it. Just very odd. Pre-orders begin tomorrow, and it will be for PS5, PC, Xbox Series X and S. I don't know why it's just PS5 and PC.
Because you're watching the Sony announcements.
True that. They go into detail about how they're going to be pulling some new characters, and then they said, "Here's the last little couple bits," and then you hear the bum ba-dum ba-da-bum, and I was like, "They're not doing God." This is the God of War remakes. When I first saw this right here with the Omega symbol in between the 1, I was like, okay, cool. And then 2, and I was like, okay, so we're getting the original 3. Are we getting like Chains of Olympus or anything like that? And I guess not. The first 3 are fine, but it's not a remaster. No, 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 no. It's a full fucking remake from the ground up.
Well, good remasters are stupid.
Yeah, remasters are. There are some that I don't mind. Like if they did, if they actually kept going with the Prince of Persia one, I would have been fine with that because I actually really enjoy the gameplay of Sands of Time. But having them,
but haven't they already remastered Sands of Time in the past? Why would they remaster it again?
Well, I just would like better graphics overall. I mean, that's the same thing that they're doing with.
But that's the thing. If you're remastering them, they can only go so far up before you have to just fully redo them.
True. And I mean, this is a PS2 game that they're...
A game made on the N64 is still going to look like a game made on the N64, even if you plug it into today's stuff and you let a little computer system, quote, remaster it. You know what I mean? Like, unless you draw new graphics, the graphics will always be what they were.
True. That is true. And I mean, there's a bit of me that likes to wear my nostalgia goggles and be like, oh, this still plays the same. Yay. Yay. But they had TC Carson, the original VO for Kratos, yucking it up and basically being like, sit down, don't worry. This has been a project in the last little bit. Hopefully we'll be able to talk a little bit more. And then they were like, oh yeah, one more thing from fucking Santa Monica. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Are we getting another? Well, kind of. It's a throwback platformer game thanks to Mega Cat Studios. Um, and it's fucking before Kratos became the god of war. And I was like, okay, this game looks fine. Dropped that day. Literally as soon as that
Oh yeah, that's really one.
yeah, as soon as that state of play ended, people were buying this game. And I'm like, okay, I'm proud of Santa Monica for, getting this publishing out there and getting this game ready.
Is this PS5 only?
Uh
Probably. They don't make anything for the 4 anymore.
Probably. I'm unsure, but I believe it is on the PS5. If I had a PS5, I would probably go for it. I do like God of War. I need to get into the new ones of it. When it said today, dropped today, I was like, y'all are working hard on projects we ain't even got a whisper about. And I was like, okay, cool. And then they kind of did the last second rundown. And I was like, this state of play was not a waste of time. I got out of
I'm
my chair.
honestly surprised. There was more new stuff than I expected and very few remasters and stuff like that.
Yeah, I got out of my chair twice from excitement. Having a Castlevania game in 2026 boggled my mind, but I'm happy to see it. Oh, pardon. Overall, I'm excited to see what Xbox's one will be. I believe they're going to get their ID at Xbox in beginning of March. So, in the beginning of March, we'll have a little bit more to talk about, hopefully. Any other news about the state of play or gaming, Q?
No, I don't think so, no.
Okie dokie. Sadly, it's only a time for a little bit of a shoe news. Very small, very light. The Super Bowl happened, and I mean, I have to talk about Crocs and the fact that the Seattle Seahawks got their own branded Croc. I did look around for other shoes and whatnot, but sadly, nothing really caught the attention. There was a couple mellow ones, but I was like, these look like the ones we've talked about before, etc., etc. So this is as best as we're probably going to be getting as far as new shoe news. And I mean, congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks. I would have, if I had put down a little bit of money, I would have won because I would have just probably taken the Seahawks to win and just called it good. But yeah, I ain't a betting man. Of course, Quincy doesn't want these. I don't think.
No, they're disgusting. I don't want the Crocs.
Puke green. Did you have a wager on who would win the Super Bowl?
No, I'm not really. First of all, I don't do sports betting, but secondly, I'm not a football guy.
Yeah, me neither. But glad they won. Yeah. As I said, not a lot on the shoe stuff. Hopefully next week I'll have a couple things. There is something that's in the gears for next week for the bull airs that we've talked about in the past. Thank you for the stop by. Over at Sideshow, I've got a couple things that are on the either wait list or on the pre-order list. First one starting off with Arcane Vi. A really good articulated character with fucking gloves that come off. And
Hey, see, check, it's it. Chat's talking about the sport thing real quick. It's a go Cubs. Here we go.
Yeah, go Cubs.
Screw this football stuff. Baseball season starts in a week.
If they made Cubs Crocs.
Hell no, they're Crocs.
But if they gave them to you for free.
They would sit in a box in the closet. Or they will never hurt anyone.
But they're so comfy.
No.
Okay, fair enough. Um, but this full articulate, like, I'm really enjoying how the new Hot Toys Sideshow full flex figures are that have like the articulated joints that are inside of like this silicone, and the clothing bits are really nice looking. The gauntlets can easily pop on. There's little magnets on the ends of her hands so that way they stick a lot better. I'm like, ooh, you guys worked way too hard, over engineered this figure to be good. No price tag on this one, but if you're wanting the statue version, I believe that one is $904 for the stuck in position version of the Vi figure. So, I mean, I can only imagine what this posable version one is. However, heading over to the strange side of Sideshow, I didn't know they did mini arcade cabinets. And it's really mini arcade and cabinet. 17.8 inches tall. It actually plays, which is kind of funny. Bad Dudes versus Dragon Ninja. And $290 for this little mini arcade machine that plays. Oh, look at their hands trying to press all the buttons and whatnot. That's wild. I don't know about that.
I don't fully understand the mini arcades. Like they're cute, but like they just seem so difficult to use.
Yeah, if they had like a little USB port in the back so I can at least plug in a regular size controller, that'd be cool. But alas,
That's the other
no.
thing. I'm blind and I can't see that.
That is also another thing, but it does play all of the arcade version of Bad Dudes versus Dragon Ninja. There is also another one of Lunar Lander, which has this very strange controller in the middle, like a throttle, and I don't know about that. That one seems a little bit more far fetched to get to play on a smaller thing. Plus, it has like the, I don't want to call it rotoscope, the old school flickering imagery. Quasar? I'm unsure
I
of
have,
what they.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm unsure of the type of TV. It's like an older than CRT style TV that uses its nonsense. But even still, $340 for the Lunar Lander one. And then heading over to something Quincy might like, Ash Williams, the Evil Dead 2 style Ash Williams that looks really fucking good using that same silicone covering the articulation joints.
That does look
Um,
really good.
him stepping on the head of a deadite and actually being able to pose pretty good. The marks and scars all across his face, the torn, ragged clothing that he wears. This gets a 10 on 10. The only thing that doesn't get a 10 on 10, I mean, well, the price tag's not terrible. $250 for this one.
Hmm.
And it comes with a whole lot of stuff, including a whole lot of boomstick, his chainsaw, the axe, a couple hands that may or may not have belonged to him at one time, and a adjustable head, interchangeable head, and of course the Book of the Dead. Klaatu Barada.
There,
Over.
I said it.
I said it. Over on Tubi, WB seemed to have lost a lot of its libraries with its old school cartoons and the Cartoon Network library, and all of it's going to be coming over on March 1st. So if you went to HBO Max and was like, hey, what happened to all my old school cartoons? It'll be heading over to Tubi on March 1st. That
Remember to
includes
watch it on the child setting because then you won't watch ads and you won't be supporting the owners of Tubi who are shit.
True. As much as they did get a lot of old school
So,
stuff,
yeah,
such
signing that
as
contract doesn't make them better, but yeah.
you know what I mean though. They pulled a
No,
lot of stuff out of the archives, such as Pebbles and Bam Bam, Paddington Bear, Mucha Lucha, which I haven't heard for ages, Freakazoid, which I thought was just locked away in a vault forever. They grabbed a shit ton of Scooby Doo, a
Mhm.
metric shit ton of Scooby Doo. Old Teen Titans, not new Teen Titans. Snagglepuss, Smurfs, Quick Draw McGraw, Pup named Scooby Doo. The Perils of Penelope Pitstop, and both versions of Wacky Races. I was like, ooh, I might actually just have that on a second screen when I'm doing something, because yeah, some of this old school cartoons would be nice to go through nostalgia. But if you want the whole list, go check out the Animation Destination. Uh, I guess Twitter. They would have this exact image up, and it'll all be available March 1st on Tubi. Badoop. You sent me this, and I'm mad I can't click into it. Steel meets Stealth. This wonderful looking, I guess samurai predator with this really cool looking armor.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty sick.
I want it. I don't have any room for it, but I want it. I still need to watch the latest and greatest because that just dropped on
I haven't watched the animated thing or Badlands, so I got to
Okay.
watch both those still.
Okay, the animated's great. The animated is fantastic. But yeah, I have not watched Badlands either. I'm gonna probably watch it this afternoon, or not afternoon, this weekend, if I have the time to do so. Um, Excited, very excited. This looks great. This looks fantastic. Go and check out NECA Official on Instagram. It's right there. I think as soon as you click into it, it'll be top couple. Yeah, top couple. Video. Over the Garden Wall is going to be getting a Blu-ray release, and I'm happy you showed this to me because I would have missed it. Over the Garden Wall probably has to be one of my favorite Cartoon Network original shows that didn't span for very long and didn't stay for very long. And as of April 7th, for $31, you will be able to purchase this on Amazon. Pre-orders start today, I believe you said. We said. I don't know. I don't have that on my paper.
I didn't have the pre-order thing, so I don't know where you're getting that.
I think it's on. It is on Amazon. It's just I don't know if the pre-order is available now or if it's one of those talk to us things. Hang on. Yes, pre-orders start today. Woo! I like Over the Garden Wall. And last but not least, shield your eyes for those watching the stream. A big blue screen if you go to BBNOMULA or bbnomula.com. He seems to have run into some legal, quote unquote, legal issue with Blizzard Entertainment over something Diablo related. And when you go to his website, it says the site is temporarily unavailable due to an ongoing legal proceedings between BB No Money and Blizzard Entertainment. If this is the first time you've seen this error screen, please refresh your browser. If this screen appears again, legal action is still pending. Of course, this is all a meme. This is all a hee-hoo, but I'm curious to know what BB No Money has with Blizzard slash Diablo. I'm not too...
The news article I'm sitting here says that this isn't a joke. He did a Diablo-themed website, and they shut him down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You can pull it through the Wayback Machine if you want. But basically, it was his name at the top left was done in the Diablo font, and then you could see like a little tent in the background, and yeah, everything was very Diablo themed with the fonts and whatnot.
Okay, well, he screwed over his own version of getting into Fortnite, so it's only fair that I guess he's trying to do other things. I don't know. It all seems very strangely timed, but I'm gonna let him fucking worry about his own issues. Having the word Blizzard on this more than 3 times got me going. I am curious to know what will come from this. I hope to
Probably just have to put the website back to being a normal website. I mean, he
hopefully.
probably has a level of argument with parody laws and whatnot, but yeah.
His music is okay. I wouldn't.
I like his music. It's fine.
Yeah. But other than that, that is all I've got for today. I am sicker than a dog, and I'm gonna go make me up some soup in a minute. Soup. Anything else you got, Q?
No, that's everything.
All right, let's wash the hand. Let me take a quick sip. Thank you guys for joining us. Remember to like and subscribe where you can. Remember to check the links down in the description for good old Zenny and get you some inexpensive glasses for super cheap. They're running a pretty good deal on their IQ smart blue lens glasses, as well as some very particular frames. Getting the jump on spring with the sunglasses. go and check out Humble Bundle, get a couple of really cool games or books, or I mean, they're holding a lot of really good ones right now for software. If you happen to be in the mood for some software for super cheap, while also helping out charities. This is their 15th anniversary, so be prepared that there's going to be a lot dropping on Humble Bundle. So keep your eye on that. Check out Hero Forge. If you happen to have a D&D campaign and want to make a couple miniatures or a full-size diorama, go and check them out. They are right now holding a 50% off of their STL. So if you happen to have a 3D printer, or someone you know has a 3D printer, or as Quincy mentioned last week, a 3D printer at the library that you can borrow,
Yeah.
50% off of the STL files that you can just take over and print them out elsewhere. Check out Quincy over on Threads. Go and check me out. I now have an Instagram that I'm posting a shit ton of rats on, because rats are funny. But I'm also posting a bunch of really cool artwork over there, and people are a lot more energetic on Instagram. I've noticed there's a lot more rules on Instagram too.
Yes. It's not the Wild West that X is, or
Oh,
Twitter.
yeah.
I can't believe I called it X. Gross. It doesn't deserve its name change.
But go and check me out over there. I'll throw that in the description as well. And I think that's it. At the end of days, at the end of weeks, at the end of months, at the end of years, please love one another. It is certainly free to do. Good night, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, God, I tried holding.